So some of you may be dealing with separation anxiety. If you did not get in there really early with your socialization, this can be an issue. Also, if we have to leave our puppies, there are just certain puppies that will have separation anxiety. So let's talk about it and how to deal with it. First of all, you want to know how to recognize the signs. It might display as excessive barking, destructive behavior, accidents even when your puppy is housebroken, escape attempts from their crate or their little room or their area, pacing, panting, drooling, basically being super stressed when they're left alone. So some of the causes of separation anxiety are abrupt changes in schedule or routine, a lack of socialization, or past traumatic experiences. So sometimes we don't know what happened to our puppy before we got them, before they came into our life. I have told you I have a pandemic puppy. She was rescued from a very bad situation. So she has some trauma from her past, and she has anxiety over things that we are still working on, honestly, because she has a trauma that she has pretty much like PTSD symptoms from. And also we weren't able to socialize her because of the pandemic. So it was kind of a double whammy for her. So I completely understand. Sometimes these things just crop up and you don't know why, because they had experiences before you ever adopted them, and it's not your fault. So what we want to do when our dog has separation anxiety is we want to take a step back and we want to prepare our dogs for being alone. If you have a little puppy, you'll want to do this to prevent separation anxiety in the future. So how we start to do this is by doing gradual departures. That's what I call it, which means that you leave them alone for just a few minutes. Maybe 30 seconds in the beginning, right? You come back and you praise them and you give them treats and snuggles. And you do that over and over. So one of the things that people teach is you might leave, like you go out the garage door and you hear your dog is flipping out. If your dog already has separation anxiety, and then you wait for them to calm down, and then you come back in. So they learn, once I'm calm, my owner comes home. So then that's conditioning them to stay calm. If your puppy does not have social anxiety and you're starting from the beginning and you have a little puppy and you want to make sure that they're okay with being alone, then when you leave, you shouldn't hear anything, maybe a little bark, a little something. So in that case, you want to come back right away and tell them, yeah, when I go out that door, I might come back right away. So don't get stressed, because chances are I'm going to come back right away. The second thing we want to do is create a safe space for them, right? Either we're crate training or we've created our safe space where they feel comfortable. We've already done all of our socialization with that space so that they know that they're safe and they feel secure in their safe space. Another trick is to give them treats that they only get when they are alone. This can be toys. It can be specific chew toys that they love. It can be different kinds of treats. It can be their frozen chew toy, although I recommend doing that all the time, as you know, but maybe there's a special filler that they only get when you're out so that they're excited to have that special thing while you're gone. We also want to desensitize our departure cues, which means that when you pick up your keys and you leave, your puppy starts to learn that when you pick up your keys, you're gonna leave soon, and the anxiety starts to build. You might have an older dog who knows when you're packing a suitcase that you're leaving. I know my dogs certainly do. It's a little heartbreaking. But you want to desensitize this by picking up your keys and not leaving all the time. Putting on your coat and not leaving, and then taking your coat off. Walking outside to the garage and not leaving and coming right back, or leaving the door open and coming right back. So start to think about the things that your puppy might be learning are cues that they're about to be left alone, that are causing their anxiety to start to go up, 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 and do them regularly when you don't actually leave. And another piece of this is the more you reward them being calm, the better. You have to start to notice when your puppy is calm, when they're doing something you want, and rewarding that behavior instead of waiting for them to do something naughty and say no, no, no. So we want to remember to keep doing that when your puppy is calm. when they're starting to doze off, give them a little bit of treats, give them a little attention, let them know this is the behavior I like. I like when you do this, and to keep thinking about that all the time when you're just going through your day. So as you get all of this training going, you want to start to extend the time. So if you leave them, if you get all of these pieces of training going, you can leave them for 30 seconds and they're calm. You can leave them for a minute and they're calm, and you keep building up. So then you can leave for 3 minutes, then 5, then 10, but don't leave them for 2 hours all of a sudden. If you know that you're gonna have to do that, you need to build up to it so that they can get used to you being away. Another great thing is before you leave, you want to make sure they get plenty of exercise. Brain games are great before you leave. They're very tiring for them mentally. And this is also where our healthy food and having less toxins in their diet and in their environment can help us as well, because those all lead to anxiety. So that is another reason why we want to be thinking about our healthy food, our non-toxic toys, and all of the things that we've been talking about. So if you have a situation where your puppy has extreme separation anxiety, bring in a professional. It's okay to bring a trainer in and to help you out, because again, this is an example of extreme stress. They've gotten in a pattern, a mental pattern of that this thing with you leaving is triggering extreme stress, and we have learned how much stress is a negative for our puppies, for their behavior now, for their well-being now, as well as in the future. So for your homework, you are going to do some of this leave and return training, where we're leaving and coming back quickly and starting to get our puppy used to being alone, and also start thinking about what those cues are that you have that tell your puppy that you're on your way out the door, and start to do those things, picking up your keys, putting on your coat, do those things without leaving the house so that they can get desensitized to those as well.